Let's just get this in a decent position. Let's have a look. Should we go there tonight? I can do some of that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go for that. Yeah, we'll go for that. Let's mute the other screen off. Always going to end up in an infinity loop. Is that close enough, or people want a bit more zoom? I'll just hold up for the stream to catch up with us. Let's grab another brush. The other one's doomed. Yeah. I killed the other one earlier on. Ah, thank you, Ben. Should we leave it zoomed out like this for a bit? Everyone will just have to remind me to keep showing what's going on. I'll grab a new brush out. Cheers, mate. Oh, hang on. You still about? Here we go, Ben. Just for you. Right. Let's get my head into gear. Yeah, all chaos broke loose just as I was gonna set everything up. Yeah, the Amazon man arrived, and he brought one of these. Ah, get gluing, mate. Yeah, I know. I've looked at these before, and they were like £10+, and yeah, good. Very good. I had a fun day today. I say this just arrived, and I thought I would try it out and give it a test run, see if it's big enough to hold these Warlord bases. It looks like it would be. Let's give it a go. Kind of my first thoughts about. First thought is the base doesn't quite fit in. Let's have a look. It might do. Oh, it's close. I think Games Workshop have real bases. I think that's stretching it to its capacity. It doesn't look very safe in there. But let's give it a go. If Ulf goes flying, we can say it's no good. And I'll go back to my bits of plastic that I use. We'll practice that. Okay. So tonight we have one of my personal favourites, Ulf the Quarrelsome. He's an Irish special character, and a boy was he special. Yeah, well, we'll talk about a bit about that in a little while. Evening, Rich. Evening, Kubla. Yeah, it's going well, TMP. Yes. Well, right. That was a bit of a hectic start. Yes. It doesn't look... It does look quite stretched under here, doesn't it? I'm not sure if these were designed. Let's give it a good wobble. Oh, it popped out then, but I had to give it quite a wobble. So, as long as you're not wobbling them, I think we're going to be all right. Oh, hello, Mr. Goblin, sir. Pleasure to have you on board this evening. We're just trying out these, I'm trying to get this painting handle to work on this big Warlord base. And I must say, I'm having a little bit of a struggle. I know they do a bigger handle, but this was the one I saw on offer, and I thought, oh, that'll fit. And it does, in fairness, fit. But it, as you see, it's to its capacity, I think. Right. That's enough messing about. The dog has just finished his chew, so he's now being an idiot. Leave. He's trying to eat his bed. If you eat your bed, you won't have anything to lay on. And I won't buy you another one. Right. One moment while I take the dog's bed away so he doesn't eat it. Right. I'm packing on some paper. This is the slowest I've ever taken to get started painting, isn't it? So let's get some flesh on board. We're going to go for... then let's go for the next one up. Let's go for agate skin. And let me know if this isn't zoomed in enough. No, we're taking your bed away now because I don't want you to eat it. He was nice, calm, and asleep just before the video started. And he knows I'm talking to somebody, so yeah, there we go. So, right, agate skin. It's some interesting colourful poos if he eats all the paint. Yeah, I get you. I get you. Let's load up with some medium. Right, and we begin. Let's see. Is that close enough in, guys? I'm just gonna lay some of this down. Yeah, so what have we done? Finished one job, which was a fun mixture of stuff. Which it should have arrived at somebody's house today. Yeah. Was good. Yeah, what I've done. So that was quite good. That was the Mantic ogres, and what else was there? American War of Independence guys, and there was it Qua, the Long Qua War. They were fun to paint. The yeah, there's, I just keep saying Gua because it used to be Guagum, didn't it? There's Qua. When I looked at them, I thought, ah, these are gonna paint up really quick because they're really kind of basic stuff. But I found that they demanded a little bit more painting than I thought. So I kind of got a little bit stuck into them. Not as much as I got stuck into the Mantic ogres. Yeah, I got very carried away on the ogres, mate. Especially the shaman and warlord. had yeah, they were good fun. The pleasure rich. Hope they'll arrive safely. Yeah, I'm not sure about its handle. It's kind of nice. I've always used this, which was the it's like I think it was a turning volume switch off an old stereo or something. Oh no, the other one was the stereo. I think that was just a plug off the end of a pipe somewhere. So that's our base colour. Ulf the Quarrelsome. I say it's my favourite. Definitely my favourite story. One of my favourite miniatures in their range. A bit of shield down. I'll need that later. Okay. Where do I put that then? Oops. Oh, there it is. Phew. I lost his shield. Ah. No, he was definitely Irish, but it's Ulf is the Scandinavian word for wolf, isn't it? So it'd be more correct to call him Wolf the Quarrelsome, I think, from our point of view, perspective. It's brother to Brian Boru. Haha! It's one of these little snippets of stuff that I know. It is based on the Icelandic. I think it's one of the Icelandic sagas, though. So, and he didn't like Vikings at all. Not even a little bit. So I'm just going to hit the gunmetal grey. I just used a little bit of medium to make it run. Seems zoomed out a long way. Is everyone happy with that? Yeah. I suppose it gives us a different view from usual. You can see what's going on, I suppose. Yes. I might get his story wrong, but I shall blurt it out in a little while. There we go. I knew Ben would know. Ben, you can judge of my telling of it. I'm going to tell it, and it won't have any of the right names or anything in it, but you'll get the gist of why I think this guy is. In a time of absolute lunatic badasses, I think Ulf is anyone that gets given the name Ulf the Quarrelsome has earned it, you know what I mean? And he's only mentioned twice, isn't it, in the sagas. The first one was about the battle that my friend Ben's just mentioned, Clontarf. Let me just stop the computer resetting, because that would be a bad thing. yeah, so it's gone to the battle. It was with one of the other Irish clans that had called a load of Isle of Man Vikings, I suppose, and a man called Brodeer, I believe. Brodeer? I hope I'm correcting that. I apologise now if I get any names right. How am I doing, Ben? So it's Brodeer of Man and some Vikings come over to help some Irish fight against some Irish when Brian Boru was trying to become High King. Or was he High King already? I don't know. So basically, the battles Ulf is cleaving his way through and comes across Brodeer, who I think was a bit of a nut job as well. I might be wrong, but I think was supposedly a berserker. Ah, I'm gonna get away with this then until the comments tomorrow. I'll keep going, shall I? Okay, so in the battle, Ulf goes across and basically sees Brodeer, and he's always hated Vikings because he was attacked by Vikings, as everyone was, and I think they killed his mum and what have you. So he's got personal hatred. So he sees Brodeer across the battlefield and thinks, I'm having some of that. And apparently, one of his favourite things to do was to crack people's head open with his giant axe. And he attacked Brodeer and basically shattered his shield and smashed him to the floor. And they were on a hill or something. And he basically battered Brodeer until he fell down this hill. And Brodeer thought, sod this for a game of soldiers, I'm off. So off he went, and Ulf carried on to cut his swathe of destruction across the battlefield. Anyway, that was that. Brodeer done a runner for his ship. On the way back to the ship, Brodeer came across the Irish camp where Brian Boru was in his tent. Brian Boru was apparently about 80 or something, old, and Brodeer found him in his tent minding his business. So you can imagine what happened. Anyway, cut scene back to Ulf. He gets back to the tent to tell his big brother what a great victory that he's had for him, and he's finds his brother all smeared around the inside of his tent. Now, as you could probably imagine at this point, he was a little upset, to say the least, and went bananas. And I'm not sure where or how, but basically Ulf tracked Brodeer down sometime later and kicked the bejesus out of him. I can do his cloak blue, I believe. Let's start with... Oh, we've got to start with Wolf Grey, haven't we? It seemed fitting, wouldn't it? Anyway, back to the story. It's like story with Pirate Rich paint. Yes. So yeah, at some later point, Ulf tracks Brodeer down and kicks the utter beep out of him, and then proceeds to slice him open. And this is a warning for anyone that's a bit squeamish to mute this now. He slices him open, pulls out what's inside, nails it to a tree, makes Brodir walk around the tree until he hasn't got anything inside, gives him a knife, and says, "You can cut it and come and fight me, or you can cut your throat." And basically, this story ends there, and who knows what he did. But he certainly, there's no more stories of him, so I think it was fairly fatal anyway, even before he gave him a knife, but it makes a good story. And that's pretty much the tale of Ulf the Quarrelsome. Yeah. Brodir might have had sausages for tea. Yes. So yeah, that's why I think in an era where there was many nut jobs, that kind of stands out, especially because it was. I think it was one of the Icelandic sagas. You'd have to quote me on that, but well, a lot of them were written by Irish women, weren't they? I believe. So yeah, we'll just start with Wolf Grey because it wasn't the colour I was going to start with, but because of his name, I thought best to. We can work with it. So if you've got an Irish army in Saga, you've got to have this guy there, haven't you? There's a dog outside the house making a noise. Oh yeah, that was noisy. There's only a little Yorkie went past and was suffering on. Yeah. So if you've got an Irish army, get one of these. If you haven't, get one of these. What should we talk about now? It's brilliant, isn't it? One of my friends I game with, he's got one of these. He can remember everything. You know what I mean? He's got a really good memory. Where I've got the memory of like a very old goldfish. But some of these stories as well from the sagas are brilliant. Isn't it? So just laying down this blue. We thinned it a little bit because it's got a lot of white in it. It's not going to go translucent. Yeah, so then what else have I done this week? So I finished Rich's com, and then I had a little Lord of the Ring one to do, so that's all done and dusted. So I found myself today, after I'd done the post run, with some time on my hands. Woohoo! So I tried a couple new techniques out that I'd never really tried before, which was interesting. So yeah, we'll leave that blue like that for now. And we get our Crusader skin. Oh, that's the what I always do is when I get a new brush out, the old one, I just put a little nick out the top so I know it's the one I use for all the washes and stuff. Yeah, this handle's pretty comfy actually. Oh, I'm going to annoy you now, Rich. I would have. I made a batch up and I was going to put some in a bottle and put it in your box, and I forgot that too. Don't. So, yes, I will. I'll get on it, mate. When we got it. I've got play tests, a game in the morning. I might be able to do it tomorrow. If I finished gaming early enough, I shall do it tomorrow. I think he's coming over at 11, so. There we go, so we just use that Crusader flesh just to wash that down. Well, that's drying. Sorry, Rich. I shouldn't have told you. That was cruel to tell you, wasn't it? Yeah, what if I show you some pretty miniatures instead? Will that cheer you up? Did you see the 100-Year War ones I did? This is one of the different styles I was trying. So these are basically a little bit different to how I usually paint. I mean, they're front rank miniatures. They're gorgeous. Oh, cool. This is another funny one. Is I typed my surname into Google and searched for my family coat of arms, and da, 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 da. Who would have thought it? It's not actually my family coat. It's my. So yeah, there's a story behind that. So yeah, they were the 100 Years War ones. I used a different undercoat and some airbrushing to speed them up, and it did a little bit, but not enough to warrant changing the way we do everything. So I'm just using. I've got an old. I will show you later one I painted about 5 years ago. We'll have a look at it at the end. But I'm going to paint it roughly the same colours, so we can have a good look at that. Yeah, yeah. If you Google Newton coat of arms, and yeah, so Isaac Newton, when he was knighted, chose that as his coat of arms. So technically, it's a Newton family coat of arms, which is hilariously funny. There is other Newtons, obviously, but I'm not claiming direct lineage to Sir Isaac. But hey, when I'm Pirate Rich Paints and there's a chance to link in with heraldry that's crossbones, well, I'll take that. Okay, we're going to use Fiendish Yellow. Just going to start work on these trees. We use this naffed up brush, thin the yellow a little bit. Yeah, so I thought to myself, I'll grab some 100 Years War knights and have a play. They'll probably get used for Ecorshare or whatever it's called. Dr. Bob's game. which looks very good. I don't know if I've seen it. Yeah, it's true. There's a story somewhere in there, isn't there? I'm not. Apparently, one of his relatives on where he used to sit when he's at college or something was inscribed above their heads or something, see like that. But I like to think that he was obviously I don't know. I shall make the story up at some point and type it into Wikipedia, then it'd be true. Yeah, yeah. I've got to ask Dr. Bob what I need for the his game. A courgette, whatever it, courgettes, a courgette. I don't know what it's like, but yeah. I'm surprised I didn't get told off online already about not using correct heraldry. Although it is correct heraldry, just wrong date of heraldry. So as you can see, we've got his Yulu Cruz. So where that's drying, we're going to get the dark tone out. Yeah, it was quite good. I did the using that where I painted those. It was 5 infantry, 3 cavalry. It took about 3 or 4 hours ish. Um, but taking slightly longer if it used proper heraldry in different colours. But hey, so I'm laying this dog snoring. I'm laying this. I usually water this down a little bit because it's quite strong, but I'm letting it go quite dark on this mel because it's that very fine stuff. So I'm going to come back and highlight it anyway. It's very true, and that's sort of we said since we've started painting, isn't it? Is at the end of the day, they're my miniatures, so uh, people can tell you they're wrong, but hey, what do we care? If it made one of you lot smile that I've got crossbones on my 100 Years Wars, guys, that's worth it. It's worth every brushstroke. Oh, yeah, perhaps you guys want to throw an opinion up. Also this afternoon, not wishing to sit idly by and twiddling my thumbs and watch a film or anything. Oh, cool. Yeah. never played the Baron's Wild. It's all right. I know a couple of my mates got the Kickstarter. Yes, that's what they're there for. Okay. So next, I think we're going to deal with the leather, and I like, as you know, using carnelian skin on the leather. Yeah, I think the shaking the miniature around at the start, making it fall off, was a bit harsh on the holder, because I did have it upside down and was kind of swinging it about. Probably a plastic miniature, which is probably designed more to hold. Wouldn't have done that. But hey ho. Let's come to the camera for it. I keep forgetting I'm zoomed out today. Okay. Yeah, I think it's important sometimes when you got a spare bit of time just to have a reflect on how you're painting and have a play with either a different style or some miniatures you've not painted before. You know, just change it up a bit, you know. It does stop us going stale. With that said, what I did this afternoon, something I'd not tried was non-metallic metals. The dreaded NMN, MMM, and then the, you know what I mean, NMM. I'd had a look at the concept of it a long time ago and thought, I'm a bit busy to mess around with that. But finding myself with a few hours to burn before coming on here with you guys, I thought to myself, okay, let's have a thrash and see what gives. So that's basically what I done. Just looking at that wristband, I'm going to go gold on that wristband. I think it's got a lot of detailing over there. I'm going to go gold around there. I have a metal bore, an orc rider on one of those. All right, okay. I was just surprised how bent out that is, and that was as wide as it could get. I know they do a bigger one of this as well, don't they? I was just a little worried. Why they were on special offer, I thought, okay, I'll give them a go. Because they should be £10, and Amazon had them for £6.30. But I ordered 4 of them to get another 5% off, because I'm like that. And yeah, I thought I'd try one, and if I didn't like them, I'd stick them all on eBay anyway. I'd only be losing like a couple of quid selling them, wouldn't I? But think I'll hang on to them. I do like my yes, I did notice that. It was one of the things I looked at online to see if you get square bases in them as well. So we're going to get greedy gold out. I was talking my first attempt at non-metallic metal. Would anyone like to see it? Get a bit of gold on board on here. Talking about metals. It was an interesting experiment anyway. That's the most important thing about mini painting. It's not always just about getting the miniatures painted. Sometimes it's like these little journeys we can go on and try different stuff. Make it exciting. As you can hear, I'm quite sort of bouncy tonight, and that's because there's a nice couple of commissions to do, which was nice. Some nice miniatures. Play with somebody else's toys. Still has time to have a go at some stuff I was interested in, which is again double interesting. So I think it refreshes you. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, you can get a little bit stale. So it's pretty good. Just so often, just have a play with something else. Well, I think so anyway. So yeah. The dog's snuffling around again. Yeah. So we're back on off. So I'm laying down this gold. Yeah, I saw Double G. You'd got, was it the Orc Warlord on the Wyvern? The dog's found something to eat out. He's found a shoelace from somewhere. God knows how that got there. So we're just going to come down. his helmet as fancy as we can. Yeah, I think I zoomed past it. I didn't see my apologies. It's still very cool though. It shows I'm kind of taking that. For me, that's taking loads of notice. How do we feel about GW bringing all these old miniatures out? And I'm not sure. To be honest, it was the older ones I liked. The miniatures they seem to be bringing out are what I call the new ones. That's... I've still got quite a few of them kicking around, in fairness. Oh, cool. I'll have a look. Cheers, Betty. I do like getting messages and stuff. Okay, so next we're going to grab... we're going to do that. Yeah, let's do... No, let's go blue tone. I'm going to run some blue tone. Oh my, that's just gone slurpy. Look at that. There's my... Always keep a bearded kitchen all handy over there. The thing with droppables is sometimes get all... The cap might have been slightly loose on it or something. Just sort that out. Yeah, certainly does. So looking up to the shelf on my left, I can see older GW models there. They're a bit dusty. Let's grab the first model off the edge of the shelf. I mean, it'd be very dusty, but... Oh, let's grab the first two. 1, 2. There we go. Excuse the dust, guys. I'm not going to stop and dust them off. We've got a dusty, very dusty Grom the Paunch. Look how that's disgusting, isn't it? And we've got the carrying... Is it a carrying cart? I can't remember what it's called. But yeah. I am going through the shelves at the moment and dusting stuff off and reboxing it and selling some and all sorts. So yeah, see, that's the sort of stuff that's kicking around up on the shelves. There's some of these guys hanging around on the back of the bench here. Look at these. Got 2 of them. Oh, does that give it away with the codes? Anyone know what they are? I had one which was rare, and then I found another one in another box I had. They're rare. They're denizen. This is a rare one. This was never released. It was a special one. Oh, look. That's very old as well, look. That's a Citadel miniature, pre-slaughter, before they started writing on the things. They didn't always write on them. It's like these bears in there, very old. What about this little chap? That's relatively new, look. 1999. That's a new miniature. I can't remember. Oh God, what was it? RuneQuest, I think. RuneQuest, I think so. They brought out 4 of them, and one of them was not released, and that's the one that wasn't released, I believe. But you got him if you bought something else, or I found him. Someone said, "Do you want these old miniatures?" And they were just like a load of rubbish, apart from him hiding in it. I do love that. People know you're painting. Do you want these miniatures? Oh, yeah, go on then. And there's always a gem. You always find a gem. So I'm just going to lay this blue out. Give some. Waiting for my friend Jean-Luc is trying to find. We had years and years and years ago, we had a moment where he was more into miniatures than I was, and I sold him my whole collection. Some of my really, really old stuff. So I'm trying to sort the dog out. Oh, blimey. First slaughter base in 1981. They started bringing out slaughter bases. Yeah, about 81, I think. Because the original Space Marines had slaughter bases, and they went till what, 87. Yeah. I thought there was some kicking around before then. I thought those regiments of renown boxes, you had some of these were in the regiments of the renown boxes, like the miscast boxes. You had these, and you had the D&D line as well. It's gone. I'm not gonna fracture my brain by thinking about it. It was a long time ago. Okay, I'm gonna, instead of putting a yellow wash on, I'm gonna put a second coat of yellow, just so we've got a nice solid coat to work from. Carl, you should have been here, Dale. It was amazing. Yeah, we were talking about when Slaughters first came. We were talking about the dog being naughty, and will be thrown downstairs in a minute in disgrace. We talked about Me attempting non-metallic metal for the first time. A bit of a sort of exercise, I suppose, would be the best description. Let's grab the oak brown. Yeah, I see that. God. Is it the guys with the cannon that they oh. I've just now kicked over a water thing. Hang on a sec, guys. I've got a jug of water I keep under my bench for washing out my airbrush, and I've just kicked it over. So brief pause while I nick the dog's towel. Let's see if he's going to settle with his bed. What I was reaching for was it was this era of GW stuff they've re-released, isn't it? Without the dust, obviously. God, it's dusty in here. Yeah, there is collectors out there for them. If the advice putting them on eBay is there'll be some stupid prices on them, and they very rarely go for those stupid prices. But if you're prepared to wait and wait and wait, you'll get a good price for them. Some of them aren't as rare as you think they are, even though they're so old, because there were so many of them released. But them being in the blister, well, there's people that I've seen have got, they collect them and basically do their paint studios out like it's a Games Workshop shop from back in the day. You know, they've got all the boxes and blister racks. So yeah, there's a market for them. Don't throw them in the bin. If you look back through my videos, one of my first videos when I started, I did an unboxing. One of my friends gave me a metal tool chest of the first ever Games Workshop space stuff I'd seen, because I was only painting medieval stuff at that point. And he gave them to me, and that had, yeah, I'd bang onto them. That had all the Chaos Marines in it. So if you look back through some of my early videos, you'll find that. And I was going to get round to stripping them down. And, well, I was umming and ahhing because my friend painted them. So part of me wanted to leave them as is, and part of me wanted to repaint them. I stripped down and repainted the blood letters because they had so much gloss paint on them you could really not see them, but they come out really, really well. The trouble is, once I've painted something, I'm not really interested in it anymore. You see from the miniatures I've pulled down today with the all the dust on them, they just kind of get stuck away. That's why I've decided to make sure I sell them all on now, you know, by doing the eBaying and trying to get booked in at shows at the moment. Oh, cool. Yeah, I like painting Marauder Giant. It's very cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I've not looked at the Games Workshop stuff that they've re-released. Oh, this red I'm using now is the Dragon Red. Just watered down a little bit with the medium. Yeah. He's got a bit of a funny looking arm, but it works when the shield's on there. It's probably the only way they could cast it. So what we do now, I think, is we're going to have a blue, black, blue. So we'll do. I think he's got lots of like layers on under there, so we're going to throw a green in there. We're going to make him quite bright there. I'm surprised you could spot it underneath all that dust. That's what I find more of a shame is I've got all this painted stuff hanging around where people might still be able to use it, you know? And so I've shifted a few bits on already. I've got loads to put on over. I'm going to keep putting it onto eBay and stuff. Okay, just drop a bit of green. That's that Angel Dark Green. It says looking quite colourful. That's how I kind of wanted him at the moment. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to get the brown washout. We're going to use the strong tone. And get all our tones into this miniature early. So this is going to go on the scabbard, all the leathery stuff. I'll be quite careful about getting it on anywhere else. I think I've seen a lot of people again having a go at Games Workshop about it, but if there's an interest there for the stuff and people want it, the market dictates, doesn't it? So I personally would go think, oh, I'll go forward, I'll use others. There's so many different miniatures out there now. It's like the Mantic stuff's very good. Cheers, Dale. Good to see you again, mate. Oh yeah, I've just seen your comment, mate. Yeah, non-metallic metal is strange. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Let me show you it. Are you still there, Dale? Or are you gone? He's probably gone now, but if he watches this back, this is my first go at it. From different angles, it looks different because you're painting it from a light source. So it actually looks different if you're looking at it at tabletop distance to close up. I got loads of these miniatures. I just took this one out the blister. What's it called? I can never say the name without reading it out. This is Chronopia, and that was the Elf Dream. All yeah, that big box of blisters. I got loads of these, but apparently they're all discontinued. I don't know what the game's like, but if anyone plays it, I've got lots of them. Cool. Yeah, I wanted to have a go just to see what it was about. You know, I kind of got the concept. It was an enjoyable afternoon mucking around with it, and I got some ideas to use some of the techniques on other stuff. But there's some very, very good painters out there that can do it very, very, very well. That's just a quick hack having a go at it. Not really knowing exactly what I'm doing, but I get the concept. And when you look at these guys painting for competition, and they're all using NMM, I kind of get it. But this is the but for me is if you're just painting, come on, spit it out. If I was doing the chainmail on this guy the quick way, so painting it black, dry brushing it, that is what I considered as the kind of basic standard of the job, as it were, you know what I mean? Which is why I've said that I always put it over the grey Xenophil and then bring it back with the black and then bring it forward again with the silver. And I think you get quite a cool finish that way, a more controllable finish than just dry brushing, if you see what I mean. Yeah, so I think that looks better than for gaming miniatures, at least. That's what I was thinking when I was doing it. I was thinking this will look good on a display miniature, but would I want to see a whole army like it? Yes, yes. That's exactly just as I come to say it. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, because you're painting from a fixed light source on a 3D model. It's only going to look right from one angle. So when you pick it up and you spin it round, it's going to look strange, and it almost looks cartoony as well. But some are not dissing the guys that do it, because they're very clever and they make it look very good. So there, I've said my piece. I can demonstrate on that guy. I know it's just a basic sort of thrash out of it, but I imagine the light source was coming from this direction, so the shine will be across the top of these ridges, and the dark side of it will be, yeah, this plate is the best one to show on. So if it's coming from this direction, this will be in shadow of here. You'll see the reflectiveness here. Yeah. And that light of reflectiveness changes on the shape of the piece as well. So if you looking at this, you can see where the black, you can see where the light shines. It's not, we think when we're painting these guys it's right at the top, but it's not. To make something shiny, you've got to get it where your eye line hits. Yeah? Does that make sense? Shall we move on? Everyone had enough of that? But say, I'm no expert on it at all. But it was an interesting afternoon. I'm glad we did it. And I'll probably just throw that miniature up onto eBay. Somebody will want it. I think it's good enough to sell painted. They might strip it down, paint it again. There we go, just a bit of red wash on the red. Let's just hit that green over there as well. Green tone. A little bit of there. Oh, absolutely rich. Yeah, I mean, it was just something I wanted to play with, you know what I mean? If you don't try these things, you never know. I did suspect I'd feel like that about it. So next, we're going to go up to Runic Cobalt, which is a pale bluish grey. Yeah. The other thing as well, when I put the matte medium in with the metallics, basically you are thinning down the, because basically you're painting with paint with bits of glitter in them. That's one better way of describing it. So if you then water it down, you're spreading that glitter further, if you know what I mean. So you are desaturating the, I don't know if that's the right word to use with the metallic, so you'll end up with almost kind of how you do metallics, I suppose, non-metallics. It all got very confusing this afternoon, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about your shaving. Did you like your potion bottles? Your very shiny potion bottles? That is rich. I was aimed at. In case anyone was wondering, I painted the mantic ogres. And the shaman's got like potion bottles hanging off of him, so. Okay, so we'll just grab the highlights of that. Now I'm going to go straight in with the highest highlight as well. Then we're going to Frost Blue, which is a very pale bluey grey. Because we only want it for those very high highlights. Run. There's a lot of white in that. That would be quite glowy on the camera. So just hit these edges. It's amazing he's just not one. I could have just painted him red with all the blood effects. This guy is. Yeah, I used there's some special effect paints that come with this. They're for doing stuff like the plasma stuff on stuff. So yeah, they're almost, well, they are fluorescent paints. They're very, very good. They took a bit of playing. I forgot to put I made some test arms for the. I was going to throw them back in the packet. Forgot. So yeah, that's the. Literally, I just painted them white, and painted the stuff on, let it dry. Painted the stuff on, let them dry, until I got to a nice thing. You could actually go back and highlight them out again, but yeah, they work pretty well. So right, let's get that green. So the next green up is Guardian Green. Rich and his magic air fryer. What's in the air fryer tonight, Rich? Our air fryer had some chips in it earlier. I know, because I ate them. Right, let's get the thinner brush. Load it up with some medium. I'm just gonna. Well, there's not much of this one there. We're just gonna hit around the edge. Leave some gaps. There we go. Now see, now that's drying out. That's looking quite nice, that blend on there. It looked horrendous at first. Okay, so we've done Dragon Red, so we're going to go to True Red. Pure Red, sorry. Load it up. Okay, and I'm just going to, again, hit the edges. You see, Griffin Beast have released the Collins from Ragnarok's new Viking warbands. They look very nice. Okay, we're just hitting the edges just to highlight them out and make it a bit interesting. We're going to come back in with the next flesh up, which is going to be Bobblybarian flesh. There's not a lot of flesh to mess around with on him. Just get in there and get it done. Let's pop that on his cheeks. Across his mouth. Can't really see. We're going to catch the top of his elbow because that, remember, it's going to be behind the shield. So we'll highlight it out anyway because it doesn't matter behind the shield. Okay. Just use the tip of our brush. Across there. Right, there we go. He's coming along. So next we're going to start his trews. Okay, we're going to grab our black, which is, let's say, our watered down Vallejo black. Actually, no, this is it's actually a army paint now, so I filled it out a bit of flame. What I'm going to do is on his trews, get this flowing nice. And he's nice and thin. And we're gonna. I'll keep on camera. Sorry, guys, if I go a little bit quiet. You're probably thinking, thank God he's sharp. And the dog's gone to sleep now. To turn his trick of this is to keep the black nicely the right amount of medium in it. Okay, so work your way around nice and slowly. Once you've got your paint at the right consistency, and you've locked your fingers off properly, the next important thing to do to think about brush pressure. Now I'm using obviously the little tiny Psycho brush here. It really doesn't matter. If you can use a bigger brush, it just means you won't be, I have to dip every time. And it's a bit of a drawback when you're doing freehand to use the little tiny brush. It's good for dotting eyes, but some decent sable brushes will have the same point as this, and they'll be right up to sort of 0, I guess. Don't quote me on that, but basically the point tip is the same. What's different is the confidence you have controlling the tip. So sometimes if I'm really busy, I won't bother to change my brush from the cheapy rubbishy ones. So I know I've got, even with it curled over on them, I know I've got a little tiny tip on them. So there's this, that's the lines, my first lines. So now what I'm going to do, as you saw, I unloaded the black out of the brush, make sure that none of the dry on there, and I'm going to go round and turn them into squares. What you can do for this is, instead of using paint, is you can swap it out for ink. In some regards, it's ideal to use the ink because you're getting that massive pigment load, and it's already nice and thin for you. I was going to do this with ink, but I thought I'd do it with paint, so you guys can see you can do it with paint. Okay. I think I'm starting around the front. So now I'm kind of level with the others. It gives me a guide. Keep it nice and neat. There we go. Yeah, so this painting handle's not bad actually. Just do the same thing with the other leg. To be honest, when it's the material's bunched up, it wouldn't be completely straight anyway. So let the brush ride over the ridges a little bit, as long as it all kind of marries up. There we go. So that's all checkered trousers at the moment. Wash the brush out. Let's have a look at it and make sure it stays nice and clean. So next we're going to, first of all we're going to put the lid on that one, because we always do. And then we're going to grab just a, yeah, so that big brush, as you can see, the point on it is as small as that one. It's just, you've got that much of it to control. So if you get used to controlling that, more you're actually doing is having more paint in the belly of your brush. So technically, as long as you're in control of it, the paint flow will be better. That's the theory anyway. So next, what I want to do is we're going to do some fancy bits on the cloak. There we go. This is just that yellow we painted the trousers in. So tie it all back in. This is a very cheap synthetic Chinese brush from Amazon. So don't be disheartened, guys. That's what I say. I use army painter ones a lot as well. When I come off video, I don't all of a sudden rush from a Winsor & Newton. Get a brush you feel comfortable with, you know what I mean? Got a video lined up as well to do a tutorial about painting stuff like what I'm doing at the moment. I've got a box of the Griffin Beast plastic picks, and they've got loads of nice cloaks, so we're gonna paint the load. guys need any inspiration, ever there'd be like a 10-15 minute video of me laying down lots of patterns of cloaks. This is just from feedback from Lord S. A lot of people will message him and say, oh, can you get Pirate Rich to do a video on this? Yeah, they're very good. I like. He's got a great store, isn't he? Well, I'm not knocking sort of high-end brushes. They're very good, but you can look. You can do stuff without them. Just drag the brush through a pile of grey as well. That won't do. See, if it's gone a little bit thick, it doesn't matter because I can just grab some of that blue and just zap it back. You know what I mean? So yeah, so just leave that like that. So as I said, I'm just using my old paint job as a guide, painting guide. So now we can grab some Brain Matter Beige. We're just letting that new Brain Matter Beige is very just off white. It's really cool. I'm starting to really like these Fanatic paints, really do. Okay, so now we're going to grab one of the blues. And we're going to paint teeny tiny squares of blue inside all those cubes. So we just want to leave a little bit of yellow. So literally just dotting down And that's the trouble with these are really cheap brushes. I mean, these are not as good as your Pro Art ones. And this point will pretty worn out after I've done these trousers with it. That's okay, because then this one moves on to being do the metallic job. So I'll get 3 or 4 paint jobs out of each brush. I know, I mean, I had a Winsor & Newton one for years. But I still have to have a secondary brushes to do all the nasty stuff with, so. Worth it, not worth it? It's up to you guys. I think it's probably worth it for most people. Then I think stuff like those Pro Art ones, the Army Painter ones, they're pretty reasonable brushes, especially the Army Painter Kalinsky one. That lasts a long time. Yeah, somebody probably sold Ulf the Quarrelsome these trousers, telling him they were the latest fashion, and no one wanted to tell him the I'll have to get the Brodier of Man miniature as well for from Griffin Beast, because that's a cracking miniature as well. There we go. There's a lot more to do actually on him. Let's get a light green. Wild green. This is light green. A few more highlights on that green, just to make it ping a little bit. It's only going to be around the raised edges, and don't do a constant line, just let your brush wander around a bit like that. I hope that's close enough for you to see. And next we'll grab some molten lava. I'm just going to drop a bit of this into his beard, because yeah, he had to be a redhead, didn't he? Surely. Yeah, as you see, his eyes are right up underneath the lid of the helm there. I don't think I did them on the... Oh, I bloody did. Okay, you can get to them. I will get the little brush back in action then. I'll use the brain mat beige. I think my studio lamp's not as good as the old one. These LEDs are... They're throwing shadow right up under there. I can just about get to it. There we go. There's my black. There we go. Dog's now making funny squeaky sounds. I think he's gone into dream mode. And drop a bit of black in there. There we go. So, shield. We're gonna paint the back when it's actually stuck to the miniature. Let's get some of this yellow on there, shall we? It's probably the two worst colours on camera at the moment is bright yellow going over white. Well, that's actually grey. That's a Vallejo undercoat, which is ghost grey, isn't it? There we go. Just like that. It's quite thin, so it won't take long to dry. While that layer's drying, what we'll do, we'll grab our Gen 1 oak brown. A bit much there. Good amount of... I've got some really crapped up brushes over here. Let's grab one of those. Because this is going into the pomace. The pomace is almost in dry. It's like that, a little bit thick. I just keep thinning it out. I want it so it's thin enough so it starts showing the pull this through. Although I'm not too worried with this one because I'm imagining this one's quite muddy. That's why when I done it, I stippled it a bit more than usual. I imagine this to be one of those big, muddy Irish battlefields. And now please note, everyone, I've been really good not trying to do any Irish accents, I don't think. Can't remember doing any. So I hope I've not offended anybody. Which is how we keep it. But yeah, Ulf the Quarrelsome, what a man. Just taking some of the extra moisture out of that side. Keep that medium flowing. Yes, I know, Rich. Video incoming. There we go. And the yellow should be ready for another layer. So a bit of medium into the yellow. There we go. Just check this one over, see if there's anything else you want to do on him. Nope, I'm happy with that. We can put a little bit of silver out, just do some highlights. Let's grab the gunmetal as well. So a little tiny bit of gunmetal. A little bit of shining silver. It's obviously got ball bearing. If they don't want to come out, don't, whatever you do, just keep squeezing harder and harder. I did that. And what's happened is the ball bearings probably dropped into the nozzle. And all you do is you end up popping the top off. And everything goes everywhere. Which I did. I'm just put in, that's the gunmetal. And I'm going to come back out to a little bit of shiny silver. I'm just going to take a little bit more. I'm just going to edge highlight at the top of that axe. Okay. Just run it along the tip. And what I'm going to do with the edge is I'm going to just flick the brush across the front of the axe just to make it look a bit sharp. There we go. Next, take pretty much all, put some silver in it, take all of it out. Then I'm just going to randomly work around the chainmail, looking for areas where I think would catch the sun. In truth, none of it probably would, but this is painting miniatures for the tabletop, and the rule of cool does apply. So we're going to find all the areas that are up to the sunshine. to make it a little bit shine. Remember, I map these down anyway, so this is going to get a little bit back. There we go. I'm just going to go back to this. Doesn't matter where it's still wet. We're just going to say, right, we're going to do the spears at an angle. It's going to hold it like that, so we're going to need this bit shiny. And the top's very shiny. Might as well do it while we can. Okay, so it's just shield painting time. Let's get the old shield. Oh, I went crazy complicated there. That's unlike me. Okay, so I've got another Psycho brush that's got slightly more bristles on. And I'm going for that red there. So it's a fancy pants Triskeli here. So I'm going to mark there. I'm going to mark there. I'm going to mark there. Need that red bit running, so I'm going to drop a drop of our medium onto the red on the wet palette. So make everything nice and runny. That was sinister the way I said that. See how that's flowing nice. I don't really worry too much whether this shield is perfect or not, because like I said, this is Ulf the Quarrelsome. How many shields does this guy go through? He'll just be sent to the next guy, just paint shield. Make it look good. So whoever he's grabbed has to go and paint shield. That's what's going to happen there, isn't it? I like it, yeah. So this red is very watered down, so it's easy to work with. We're getting the basic shape of this down at the moment. Hope you can see it on camera. I'm a bit far away there, aren't I? Let's try and get closer. So you see that was quite runny. But I'm still in control of it. I've still got it. Still got it. Okay, so now we've got all the basic shaping. So now we can go back round and strengthen our shapes. if you stop and think I've got too much paint in that brush, you've probably got too much paint in that brush. So stop and load a little bit and go again. Don't get reckless and rush it, because all will happen is you'll make a mistake and have to work to rectify it. So you were working quite thin red. You can always just keep going. Too much. That's too much paint on there, so what we'll do is we keep working it. Then we've got a little way away. I've gone back in and used it as a palette and sort of wicked it back up the brush. There we go, just keep going till we've got the shape we like, and then we're going to swap reds. First will be a tidy. Oh no, a tidy up at the end. So you know we use that single yellow. So we can use that to starting to take shape now then. So now we're going to wash that red out. A bit dried in there. It dries around the top of the fecule, whatever it's called. So what we can do is we're going to go back, grab some of that yellow. Straighten some of these out a little bit. These lines we're not happy with. We're just gonna keep working at it, keep till we get to a point we're happy with it. Too much paint with the brush, take a little bit out. That yellow just allows us to reshape everything. Round and round and round. Now dragon red. I'm going to work it a bit stronger. So this is straight out the pot at the moment. Let's see if we can do it straight out the pot. Now we've got a nice... That's going to need a little bit of a medium. But we're going to... Whether before that first time round, that paint was really thin. It's made a real nice guide for us. So now we can come back in. Because we know exactly where we're going now. There we go. Just see how that's strengthened up now. That first one we've done that. Let's move on to the next one. Because we were patient that first time, we're now paying dividends for it now. So you've got nice guides. That red's starting to look nice and strong now. Couple more swirly bits and we'll be done. And I can show you the one I painted a few years back now. And hopefully this one will look better. There we go. Wouldn't it be bad if you like the old one better? I would give up. I'd have to hang up my brushes. Right, let's glue that shield on. Obviously, I won't have to be able to paint the brown spear and stuff because I don't want to glue my brush to it. At least we'll have some idea. Too much glue in there. Let's take a little bit off with the excuse you off camera a moment. His hand straight in there. Yep, that's it. He's glued on. Right, should we have a look at the old one? Are we ready? So, this is tonight's effort. He's pretty much done. I've just got to paint the spears in the back of the shield once it's dry. And here we go. Da, 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 da. What do we think? Do you like the old one better? This one will look better once it's lacquered as well, because that's got lacquer on it. There we go. So, yeah, I hold my breath sometimes when I'm. Well, you can probably hear where I stop talking, so I don't pass out. But I'm glad you were with me, mate. Yeah, so let's sit up straight and talk good. Yeah, I think there's some bits around the bottom there I didn't do on that one. This will be hitting. This is the one that's hitting eBay anyway. But that's a close up on the trues. That's quite fun though, using the old miniature as a painting guide. I think I was just starting when I painted that one. I was just starting to paint Griffin Beast miniatures, and it was a case of getting the hang of painting Dark Age stuff rather than painting fantasy, sort of medieval stuff. It's similar but slightly different. Right, so yeah, all he's got to do now is tufts on the base, paint the back of the shield, and finish from the base. Ah, I can't paint round the black round the bottom on this. Oh my god, what am I going to do? These nice new Citadel colour ones might be going straight to eBay. I might just buy some more blue tack. We shall see. I'll give him a go. Oh yeah, I've got to put a bit of wash on his shield as well. Right, that's done. So thank you very much for joining me, guys. Have a lovely bank holiday weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Get that extra game or painting in. I'll get this guy finished in a minute and get some photographs. Just turn him a bit slower, and I was whizzing him about there, wasn't I? There we go. Ulf the Quarrelsome. Irish early medieval nut job. In the nicest possible way. Yeah, have a good one, guys, and thanks for joining me. If you're seeing this and you haven't subscribed, liked, rung the notification, shared, and all that jazz, I'd be most grateful. We are we're getting closer and closer to that 1,000, and it'd be really good to get there. I think we're on 940 odd now, which is brilliant. Thank you very much for that, guys. And yeah, unless there's any quick questions, I shall cut off. And I think next time we'll zoom in a bit more again. So we'll have some like this where we're zoomed out and some zoomed in. 949. Cheers, Rich. Yeah, it's getting there, isn't it? Right. Without further ado, I shall go. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Cheers and shipmates. Bye now.